A boy saw something utterly bizarre while playing basketball. On the court, a man burned to death was walking straight toward him. The second the ball swished through the hoop, the figure lunged right at him. The boy didn't even stop to celebrate the championship win with his teammates. He sprinted back to the locker room alone, frantically unlocked his locker, and pulled out the fabled cursed antique inside. As the figure's footsteps drew closer and closer, the boy smashed the antique to pieces in a panic. He screamed, "See? I smashed it. Just leave me alone." The footsteps vanished in an instant, replaced by his cheering teammates bursting in. Convinced the crisis was over, the boy grinned to himself in the shower. Little did he know, the next second, he heard the sound of charred embers hitting the floor. The shower water instantly turned pitch black. Confused, he spun around, only to find the figure standing right behind him. It clamped a hand around his throat and shoved its other hand down his mouth. In the blink of an eye, the bathroom erupted in flames. Within seconds, the boy's entire body was engulfed in raging fire, and his friends who rushed in were horrified by the sight. Shortly after the boy's death, our female lead Lisa transfers to the school, and by sheer chance, is assigned the dead boy's old locker. She unwittingly comes into possession of the antique, which holds a whistle inside. She has a history class that same day, so she brings the whistle to show her history teacher. The teacher tells her it looks like a musical instrument, or a whistle. Based on some of the carvings, he says it is likely an early Mayan artifact, and the ancient script on it may be used to summon the dead. At this, Lisa tries to take the whistle back, but the teacher snatches it out of her hand. "Since you found this in a school locker, it's school property. It should be handed over to a teacher for safekeeping." With him putting it that way, Lisa can't really argue back. The teacher immediately looks up the selling price of similar artifacts online, planning to sell it for a huge profit. But out of curiosity, he gets a wild idea and blows into it. Little does he know, this single breath will cost him his life. Meanwhile, Lisa's cousin realizes he left his magazine in the classroom, and sneaks in while the teacher is in the bathroom. The teacher's computer is still open to the sales listing. When the cousin sees how valuable the artifact is, he decides he can't let the teacher sell it. That night, the teacher discovers the whistle is gone from its case. He searches the entire classroom and finds nothing, so he wrongly assumes the school janitor stole it. He heads out into the hallway to find the janitor, but instead sees a hunched, overweight man in a hospital gown.
Called security already, so you better be on your way.
The teacher blinks, and the man is gone. He thinks he's just hallucinating from working too late. But when he returns to the classroom, something even more bizarre happens. A cloud of black smoke pours inexplicably from his mouth. Before he can react, the hospital gown monster behind him impales him straight through the chest. It clamps down on his lungs, and as the camera slowly spins, the teacher's hair falls out in clumps. In seconds, he is transformed into an exact copy of the monster. Meanwhile, the cousin pulls out the whistle to show off to his classmates. A girl named Hannah, curious, blows into it too. Everyone there hears an unearthly shriek, and freezes on the spot in terror. But when nothing else happens after a long wait, they all brush it off. The next day back at school, the principal holds a school-wide assembly.
What's going on? Mr. Craven died last night. Why? Turns out he had stage 4 lung cancer. Dr. Wells said it's amazing he was even on his feet yesterday.
Everyone falls silent, listening quietly to the principal's address. But Luna sees something no one else can. When she snaps back to reality, the woman in the green hoodie standing in front of her has vanished. The cousin says, if you don't want this thing, you can give it back to Mason's family. Mason, of course, is the boy who burned to death at the start of the story. A terrified Luna immediately agrees, saying, I know where his family lives. I'll drive you there. After school, the two set off for Mason's house. The home is filled with antiques Mason's grandmother brought back from her travels, and she now lives there alone. Lisa pulls out the whistle and asks if it's part of her collection, explaining she found it in Mason's locker. But the old woman has this to say,
You didn't find it. It found you. Like it found my grandson. Like it found me.
This artifact took the lives of her daughter and her grandson, and it will take many more in the future. Its name is Yinkaka. It was a treasure stolen from a plundered, oppressed people.
We were told the markings said, summon the dead.
Not quite. The markings read, summon your death.
The old woman tells them, from the moment you're born, death is searching for you. If you're meant to die at 90, that's when death will find you. But if you hear this whistle, everything changes. Yinkaka will lead death straight to you, long before your time.
What does it look like? Death.
Like you, of course. You will become what you would have been in your last breath.
With that, the old woman hands the whistle back to Lisa. The two leave the house, unsure whether to believe what they've just heard. Luna noticed all the medicine bottles in the house, and suspects the old woman is mentally unwell, that her ramblings are just the words of a delusional person. But Lisa can't shake her doubts. She says, "Do you think the history teacher blew that whistle last night?" Luna says, "Maybe. If you want to dig deeper, I can take you to the hospital where I work part-time. They have Mason and the history teacher's autopsy reports there." That night, the two sneak into the hospital's records room under the cover of darkness, and pull out Mason's autopsy report. Since he burned to death in the shower, police ruled his death an accident caused by a gas leak.
He had to use his dental records to confirm his identity.
Oh God. He was so badly burned.
A dental report catches Lisa's eye. It says the dental remains are from a person nearly 50 years old. But Mason was a 17-year-old high schooler. How could he have been 50 when he died? Lisa remembers the old woman's words, and realizes Mason was meant to die in a gas leak at nearly 50 years old. But because he blew the whistle, his 50-year-old self, the one fated to die, found his 17-year-old self ahead of schedule. The history teacher's death follows the exact same logic.
I'd give him another 10 to 15 years.
Finally convinced the old woman was telling the truth, they rush straight to the amusement park, desperate to save Hannah, who blew the whistle the night before. Right now, Hannah is inside a maze at the park. She realizes a wrinkled old woman is chasing only her, and no one else around seems to be able to see her. Hannah frantically calls her boyfriend for help, but he says, it's a Halloween-themed amusement park. Isn't it normal for an NPC to chase you? With no other choice, Hannah grabs a shovel to fight the woman. But the second the shovel hits the woman's head, Hannah feels a brutal blow to her own head, and both of them collapse to the ground. Hannah is confused, she clearly hit the woman in the head, so why is there a gash on her own skull? Before she can figure it out, the monster stands back up. Hannah can only run, screaming at the top of her lungs. When her boyfriend hears her screams through the phone, he finally realizes she's in real danger. Hannah hides in a narrow passageway, but the monster crawls in right after her. Unable to crawl fast enough, Hannah gets stabbed in the calf by the monster. The moment the monster touches her, her skin begins to age rapidly. Acting on instinct, she uses every ounce of strength to break free, and manages to crawl to the center of the maze, where a service bell hangs. Hannah plans to ring the bell to get help, but the monster suddenly appears above her, coming face to face with her. Lisa tells John and the cousin what they've learned, but John refuses to believe in any curse. Hannah's only 17, he says. That was an old woman in the maze. She must have left the park. I'm going home to wait for her. Meanwhile, Lisa and the others go back to Mason's grandmother, begging her to tell them how to break the curse. The old woman says there's only one way, to pass the curse on to someone else. The moment your own death comes for you, you must smear your blood onto another person. As she says this, Lisa spots death in the mirror. She sees that she dies young, at exactly the age she is now, with a needle stuck in her arm. She realizes she's fated to die of a drug overdose.
But living, that's up to you.
After hearing the old woman's words, the cousin decides to pass his curse on to someone else. But Luna is against the idea. After all, doing this is the same as murder. But Lisa says she doesn't want to run. She's already seen that she'll die of an overdose in the near future. But the cousin has no patience for their talk. The night before, he had a vision of his own death. He's killed in an accident, pulled into an industrial shredder at a factory. He immediately drives off, and soon finds his target, a man he hates with every fiber of his being. This man deals drugs to young people, and in the cousin's eyes, he's no different from a murderer. He ties the man up in an abandoned factory, then cuts his own palm, ready to smear his blood on the man the second death arrives.
Rel, you don't have to do this!
But the two girls arrive just in time, and manage to talk him out of it. Lisa suddenly seems to figure out a way to break the curse, but before she can explain it, the cousin senses death's arrival. His premonition is spot on. His future self dies after falling into an industrial mixer, and Lisa can only watch helplessly as the cousin is shredded to pieces right in front of her, out of thin air. Now, Lisa makes up her mind. She can't let death find any more of them. The plan she thought of is simple: enter a near-death state on purpose, then be revived. Put simply, it's a race against death. Die once before he comes for you, and you break the curse. As luck would have it, Luna has a crate of drugs she stole from the hospital in her car, perfect for the job. The two then hide in an abandoned workshop next door, where they also find a defibrillator. Without hesitation, Luna injects the drugs into Lisa, then lowers her into an ice bath. Once Lisa's heart stops, Luna pulls her out to resuscitate her immediately. But in her near-death state, Lisa sees death, and is trapped fighting him in a hallucination. Luna grabs the defibrillator, only to find its battery is dead. She sets it aside to charge, and starts performing CPR instead. Meanwhile, the man the cousin knocked out wakes up. The cousin had forced 2 pills down his throat earlier, so he's now delirious and enraged. He grabs a hammer and storms toward the workshop, determined to break in. In this critical moment, Luna not only fails to revive Lisa, her own death arrives for her too. To make matters worse, the man smashes the defibrillator beyond repair, and Luna is stabbed in the stomach by death. She has to keep trying to save Lisa, through the searing pain. In her trance, Lisa remembers the old woman's words, "Death is inevitable, but how you live is up to you." In an instant, a powerful force calls her back. When Lisa is resuscitated, she comes back with a new ability. She can see Luna's death, but the ability only lets her see it. She can do nothing to save Luna from her impending death. Just when she's out of options, the man bursts into the workshop. Delirious, he accidentally brushes against Luna's blood, smearing it on himself. The curse transfers to him. Just as he raises a gun to shoot Lisa and Luna, his own death arrives, the version of him that drowns in middle age. Terrified, the man fires multiple shots at death, but every single bullet hits his own body. That's the full plot of the new horror film Death Whistle. The premise of the story is really clever and unique. Alright, that's it for today's story. See you in the next one.